I'm Laura Harris, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on Sports Like Talk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit them up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. 𝐤𝐨𝐬 go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT. Heard it say go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
SLT Nation, welcome back to another exciting episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow, amazing human beings doing amazing things and accomplishing big dreams. And today, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we got the face of the DFW in the building. I'm talking about one of the dopest, diehard sports fans that I've ever had the pleasure of doing a show with. We got NBC 5 Today morning show co-anchor Laura Harris in the building. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, y'all don't see this right now. Y'all can see her face. She's been like up for 2-3 hours. We doing this is the earliest we've ever recorded a show, and this woman comes on here and she's like got the energy that doubled the mouth of the South. Laura, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. I appreciate you guys doing it this early with me. I know this is hard, but we're gonna make it.
Hey, we gonna have fun with this one. We're gonna have some fun with this one because it's a little kid inside of me that always wanted to be a news anchor. So we're gonna talk about your incredible journey and how you got to where you are and all the places you visited. So this is gonna be a fun one. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, Louisiana, Mr. Yeet himself. I'm rocking alongside of my co-host, my brother from another mother, my partner in crime, the head coach KT. Kevin, now you're a morning person already, bro. You get up every morning like this, right?
Yes, I do, but I don't have the energy that she has, though, because I got to deal with kids in the morning. So, my energy,
she probably just got out the gym, man.
Not yet.
Oh, no, I wish. I have to go to the gym after work. So, like, I get up at 1:15 in the morning, and then I get here, like I got here this morning at 2. So I have to go work out once I leave here, like about 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
God, 1 in the morning, man. All right, well, listen, if this is the first time for you checking out our platform, hopefully you watching this in the gym or at a different time and not 8 o'clock in the morning. But if this is your first time checking this out, we want to tell you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you checking out our channel. We know that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to rock with us. And we need to ask a small favor. You, Kevin, and I are in the process of growing. 2022 has been a blessing to us. We've had some amazing personalities, athletes, content creators, coaches. The stories have just been great, but we need your help to push this momentum and to push this energy to take us to that next level so we could give more people a platform. So on the count of 3, DFW, our hometown, this is where we from, y'all. We need y'all to smash that subscribe button and show us some love. Are y'all ready? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Kevin, it feels so good, especially when our people doing it. But hey, listen, if you in Atlanta, Georgia, I like them peaches out in Georgia. Yeah, we need y'all to show us some love too, because we got us a peach here in the building today. All right, Kevin, I don't know how you do it, bro. Well, you know one of the dopest producers of it. You went out, got us a big fish today, certified blue check.
Well, B. Jones, ever since we had Devon Dudley, the Hall of Famer in the WWE, you got to shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot in 2022. That's why I am going to continue to go after Halle Berry.
Good luck, brother. And if we get Halle Berry, I'll wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning right there.
I mean, we got Laura Harris. Next is Halle Berry.
That's what I said. We got the Dallas Fort version of Halle Berry right here on the microphone, man. All right, Laura, are you ready for the Sports Life Talk initiation?
I think I'm ready. Fingers crossed.
Let's tell them your story.
All right, to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Okay. Isley Brothers, Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige, Rascal Flatts, which is a country music, they're country music artists I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And I put Adele / Ed Sheeran. Because like I feel like there's not one without the other. That's just kind of how I am. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
So Rascal Flatts, don't they say that life is a highway? Is that them?
They do. They do. So that's like the one song that everybody knows, especially if you have kids, because of this. Yes. I think it was a movie called Cars.
Yes.
Yes.
I have been to, and y'all aren't going to believe this, I have probably been to 5 or 6 of their shows. Like, that's how much, like, backstage hanging out with the band is how much I like these guys. It's
I like Rascal Flatts too. My favorite Rascal Flatts song is "God Bless the Broken Road that led me
straight to you."
Kevin, you ain't know I knew a little country, did you?
Nah,
Rascal Flatts dope, dog.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Cars, I wouldn't know that life is a highway. I want to drive all night.
That's usually the one that most people know, especially if you're not really into country music. But I think that they're awesome.
Well, my favorite country song of all time is Tim McGraw, "She's My Kind of Rain." That's like the only song I really know. And
that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. So what are some of your favorite sports teams?
The Atlanta Falcons. I don't need to hear any hate mail. Don't send me no messages. Don't IG me. I don't want it. I'm a diehard fan.
I was trying to prepare for this conversation. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I found the courage. I was trying to figure out how you muster up the courage to put on the Dallas Cowboy jersey though, because I saw you wearing the Emmitt Smith jersey, and I was like,
in fairness, let's give people some context. So my boyfriend is a really big Broncos fan, and that he didn't know it, but I had surprised him with tickets to that game. But it wasn't just tickets to the game. Like, I got us tickets to the game. We were in the owner's suite. Like, it was crazy, right? This is something nobody would ever be able to accomplish. And so I would have worn a Broncos jersey because I didn't care. I didn't care about either team. But the thing was, we were going into the owner's suite. Somebody had to put on a jersey. Like, somebody had to take one for the team. Because they would look at us like, what are you even doing here?
They would ask you to leave, like, "Hey, we appreciate you, but
I was trying not to get kicked out after all the money had been spent." So I had to, but it was an Emmitt Smith jersey because I don't care who you are, what team you like, you got to recognize greatness. And I remember when I was a kid and the Cowboys won, Emmitt Smith was on the team at the time. I know they've won several times. Everybody calm down. But this particular year, when they won, Emmitt Smith was on the team. And I will not forget, they were on the Today Show, Katie Couric. And, they're doing the interview. And it was just like, and Bryant Gumbel, and it was just watching this guy who was explaining what it was to him to win a Super Bowl. When you're a kid, like, you're like, oh my gosh, they won the Super Bowl. That's great. It's not even my team. I don't care because, I'm from Atlanta.
Right.
But it was just his passion for the game. And I will never forget that. I mean, at the time I was probably like 4 or 5. So it was, ever since then, I've been an Emmitt Smith fan. It wouldn't matter what team he played for.
Well, that's bold for you to admit you're an Atlanta Falcons fan. I was talking to somebody the other day and I'm like 28-3. I will never in my life understand that whole situation right there.
Oh, I can explain it to you. That's what happens in life when you start to count your chickens before they hatch. As my grandmother used to always tell us, if you go back and watch that game, because I know it like the back of my hand, it's like second quarter, 6 minutes left, and the Falcons are jumping up and down on the sideline. We about to win this game, blah, blah, blah. Like it was over. And if anybody knows anything about anything, you know that Tom Brady is not going to go down without a fight. And for them to have believed that it was over at that point, they deserve to lose that game. And I say that about my team every time somebody brings up that game because I watched it. And I was like, you can't, this is with anything. Like any given Sunday, somebody can win. And I just could not believe that was the way they were behaving. Yeah. And they still had 30 minutes of football to play against the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, not only that, they wanted Matt Ryan to be the hero because wasn't it Freeman? Was he the running back then in the Super Bowl?
I think Tevin Coleman was the running back, but
no, he was backup.
Because
it must have been Freeman then.
It was Freeman, and he was gassing them for like 5-6 yards a pop. And on third down, they dropped back, and that's when Matt Ryan fumbled. and it was downhill from there. But you know
and
what?
That's the thing. That's the thing. And people don't realize, playing a sport all my life, people don't realize that oftentimes when you're ahead, that's when the most pressure is on. Because if you're trying to catch the game, what do you have to lose? The game. So you're just trying anything, right? So when you're ahead, which is what they were, it was just, I just watched that whole thing like, here we go. Here we go.
Well, let's not dwell on the past. Let's go to the future.
You brought it up.
Yeah, my bad, Kevin. My bad, man.
Yeah, but y'all may have Deshaun Watson. You never know. All right, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
Ooh, Batman.
Oh, thank you.
But a certain kind of Batman. Like, I'm a Christian Bale type of Batman.
Okay.
And I'm also, but to be clear, I'm also a Michael Keaton type of Batman.
Oh, see, I'm loving this show already.
Yeah, because I really I like Michael Keaton because I liked how him and Jack did that together. Like,
yes.
how I love the Joker. That version of that villain superhero thing, nobody could do it greater than that. So that's what I liked. I liked both of them together. But it was Christian Bale. Mm-hmm.
See, that's my rankings too. I put Robert Pattinson. If you ain't seen the new Batman, go check it out. It's in the theaters right now. But I put him right there, right above Val Kilmer, but right behind Ben Affleck. Because I got Keaton, then I go Bale, then I go Affleck, then I go Pattinson, then I go Val Kilmer, then I go George Clooney.
Affleck was your number 3?
He's my number 3. I like him better than I liked Clooney and I liked Val Kilmer and Pattinson. That's just kind of... Oh, she left the show. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Laura, I'm a huge comic book fan, and Batman is my favorite superhero ever. Now, listen, with Ben Affleck, a lot of people didn't like him, but he was the Dark Knight. That was how the Dark Knight was supposed to be. And I just watched the Batman yesterday. And it was good. It wasn't better than any of the other Batmans, but I liked it. It was just different because he was a detective and he wasn't just whooping butt the whole time. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But Michael Keaton is the gold standard.
Yeah, and I just, it's very difficult for me to watch any movie that's almost 3 hours long. The only movie that I've made it to that far that was that long was House of Gucci recently.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Oh, it was amazing. Lady Gaga makes you forget that she's Lady Gaga. Like, you really believe her as, you know what I'm saying? Like, as this woman who became a mogul. It was very good, very well put together.
Yeah, the longest one I sat through was Batman and then Endgame. But Endgame, you can tell that was 3 hours either.
Mm-hmm.
Well, B. Jones, this is probably the best initiation that we've ever had. So
yeah, I'm a fan right now. I'm just sitting back enjoying this as a spectator. I'm just, wow, we having some good comedy. This is what sports, life, and talk is all about, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the show. Is she in, Kevin? Is she initiated?
No, she was in before the show started, B. Jones. But
I appreciate that.
All right, well, I need all my AKAs to stand up for me right now because we pink and green today, as y'all can see on the screen. Let's start off with your journey a little bit. Let's tell everybody now. I checked you out. You've been to South Carolina. You've been in Georgia. You've been in Tampa. I mean, you here to Dallas. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are.
That's exactly it. I mean, I've been doing this for about 13, 14 years. Started when I was 21. And I will never forget, my first job in TV was about 2 hours north of Atlanta. And I was making so little money, y'all, that I had 2 jobs. So I worked that job from Monday through Friday. And then I would drive back home to my parents' house right outside of Atlanta. And I would work at CNN Sports on Saturdays and Sundays behind the scenes. So I was just the kind of person that never wanted to ask anybody for anything. My parents had done so much for us growing up. And it was just, once you got your job and you moved out, it was just kind of supposed to be the end of it, right?
Yep.
So lived in that tiny town for a little bit. I mean, that town was so small, y'all. It was called Toccoa, Georgia, that at the time, I'm sure it's grown a little bit since then, but at the time, it was like a 2-lane road. There was a 3-screen movie theater, a Walmart, and a Captain D's. That was what there was to do in this town. So I went from there. I went to Athens, Georgia. And then I went to Charleston, South Carolina, where I became the morning anchor there at the ABC affiliate. I was there for 2 years. Then I got another good job. I went to Tampa, Florida, where I worked for the ABC affiliate there. And I worked there for 6 years, and I was actually promoted 3 times. That's why I was there for so long. I never was planning to be in Florida for that long. You know, like I've just always looked at myself and said, I always want what God wants for me, but I hope that that's the next best thing. So I've always tried to put myself in a position where the next best thing would come. So when I got to Tampa, you know, in my mind, I'm like, I'll be here for 2-3 years and I'm out. So I started as a morning reporter there. And then within like 18 months, I got promoted to the 4 p.m. And then probably 7 months after that, I got promoted to the 5:30 as well. So I was an evening anchor there before I left. And that's what, you know, before I left and I had gotten the job here, because I actually took the job here as a weekend evening anchor. And everybody there told me I was crazy. They said, why would you leave top dog spot to go and not be top dog anymore? Why would you do that? And I said, I just know that there's more for me somewhere. That opportunity would not have come up if it wasn't for me. And so the rest of it's history. When I came here, was the weekend evening anchor and a reporter during the week. And then I got promoted to morning co-anchor here within 8 months of being here. 8 months.
Wow.
And now, before you ask this, I got to let her know this. I remember waking up one morning, I just put it on the news, and I was like, who is this? First of all, she's really attractive. And then just her energy, I was like, she was, and Keisha Burns, I think she was on there with you as well. So I was like, you got Laura Harris and Keisha Burns. How can I turn away? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, Kevin. So when did you know you wanted to be like an anchor person or in a news personality? Because that's a different job. You know, everybody who sits there and watches you guys, they kind of think that they can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that want to be on television, want to be that type of person, but it's a whole different world, right? When you really peel back the onion, it's not just hey, I jump on for an hour or 2 hours and talk to people. There's so much more work. So how did you know that this was your lane? This is where you needed to be. This is what you wanted to do.
I appreciate you saying that, because oftentimes that's what people think. They come up to us and they say, you're just there for like 2 hours, right? And then you go home. I'm like, what are you even talking about? No, I get here at sometimes 2 a.m. and I don't leave till 1 p.m., you know, because there's just so much that has to be done. But I would say, you know, I initially wanted to be a sports agent. That's what I went to school to be. I was going to be the next Jerry Maguire and nobody was going to stop me. But once I kind of started taking the classes, I'm like, wait a minute. I don't really know if I want to go to law school, you know, because that's really how you become successful. And it was a situation where I was definitely going to have to work for some time to make some money. Then you got to work at a firm, then you got to do all this stuff. And, you know, I wanted my own thing. And so I just kind of said, my sister ended up becoming the lawyer of the family, which was ironic in itself. But so I decided, you know, that's just not for me, but I definitely do want to do something in sports. So I said, well, let me just try at sports broadcasting. I absolutely love it. I love sports. I love all sports. Maybe I might be good at that too. You know, so you take a couple public speaking classes. You just always knew that you were, but honestly, I always knew that that this was my gift. You know how like, you know what your gift is, you eventually figure it out. I'm not making this up. You can call Regina Harris yourself. When I was 4, going on 5 at my preschool, because I have a late birthday, so I didn't go to kindergarten when everybody my age did. You know what I'm saying? My birthday was in October. So because we went to private school, you couldn't go to kindergarten until you were like you had to match your birth year. It wasn't your age, it was your birth year. Right. I say that to say I was the oldest kid in the class. Okay. So in the preschool. So I'm in preschool going into kindergarten in private school. Sorry, I'm in preschool, but I have to do pre-K again because of my late birthday.
Right.
Okay, so I go to private school. They're like, hey, we're going to have a talent show. And I don't remember this part, but I didn't have a talent at the time. I mean, you're 4 or 5 years old. What's your talent? It's nothing. Y'all, promise you, my mother made me memorize the Gettysburg Address from top to bottom. And that was my talent. Like I had to recite that to people.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah,
like,
I know you didn't win.
In 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent. Like that 4 score in 7 years ago. So since then, my parents were kind of like, this is a little strange that she could do, you know, like I was able to
Right.
read at a really early age. The things that I was saying, you know, most 4-year-olds are like, I want cookies. Give me applesauce.
Right.
But I was having like full conversations. And I learned how to read by watching Doogie Howser.
Oh, I used to love that TV show.
So remember at the end how he used to type on his little Apple, like first generation computer? So when the words would come up, I would just always look at it. And that's how my mom figured out that I could read, because one day I just started reading it. And she was like, you can read? So like, it was always this thing that I knew that I could be a good communicator if I really worked on the skill, right? So I don't really think I was born with a little bit of this, but then you have to just make sure that you hone that skill. So, you know, taking a long way around the story, but when I got to college, I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a sports broadcaster, and the rest is history. I ended up going into news, but you know, it's all the same thing. I mean, and then sometimes I get to cover sports just like I did when I went to Tokyo for the Olympics. So it's just been a really blessed journey.
Hey, Kevin, at the age of 4 years old, man, you were celebrating y'all last championship as a Dallas Cowboy fan, wasn't you?
No, I was actually in high school. Hey, D. Jones, why are you taking shots? The Saints finally win one championship and you want to show out.
Hey, no, I just was reminiscing.
No, D. Jones, I'm not going to let you get away with it. I was in high school when the Cowboys won those 3. So yeah, I got to see everything.
That was some good days, man. Hey,
you showing out.
All right, Lord. So you talk about Tokyo. Let's jump on into that one then. Let's jump into that one real quick. How crazy was it over there in Tokyo for the 2021? I look at all your pictures. You were some of America's biggest and brightest stars. I ain't gonna lie. I was cheesing from ear to ear, you know, loving it. I was like, wow, that had to be a crazy experience to go over there. So what was it like for you?
So for a person who's only been out of the country twice, and both times it was to go to Cuba for work.
Right.
So, I mean, that was as far as I had been. And that was when I lived in Tampa. So that flight is like an hour and a half to going on a 14-hour flight straight to get to the other side of the world. So just start there. Like it was it was strange how you leave DFW, and when you get to that country, when you get to that place, you're literally a day ahead of where you just came from on the same plane. Like, so that part was just for somebody who'd never been out of the country really that far before, that was interesting. Of course, we're in a global pandemic. So the lockdown situation was just very scary. Not that they were making it scary, because I want you to know, they're some of the nicest people I've ever met. I mean, it was just, you talk about kindness, and it was so interesting because you could tell that they were not just kind because it was the Olympics. They were just kind people. Like, it's just their culture to be kind. But it was really hard because you have to think about it. Like, if you tested positive for COVID, you have to go into isolation for 14 days.
Right.
You know, and if you test positive for COVID right before you're supposed to go back to America, you can't leave. So I think that part was just weighing on all of us. Like, we're trying to do our jobs, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you can't get COVID. So it was just, it was kind of like an out-of-body experience in that regard. But y'all, I cannot tell you the sense of just blessed I felt. And in the moment, I didn't feel that way because you're running and gunning and you're doing all this work.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're working 15-hour days. But once I got on the plane back to DFW, I was just like, did I just interview Don Staley?
Right.
Was I standing next to Allison Felix and she's just holding up her medals? Like, did Vincent Hancock just put his gold medal on me and tell me that I was part of his Olympic journey? Like, did that happen? So it's just kind of like, even if you gave me hours to explain to you what that meant to me, because it wasn't just about me, it was that my station had chosen me to represent us.
Yes.
Like, that part was just, I mean, that is out of this world, you know? And it's just, sometimes you just try to just get a job done because it's the task at hand. But I will never forget that. I mean, that was just, it was an incredible experience all the way around.
Man, you had a lot of incredible experience. I wish I had more time to unpack some of these things with kicking it with President Bush, kicking it with Shaquille O'Neal. You've been all over this thing, you know what I'm saying? But the producers in my ear telling me I got to hurry up because we're running short on time. But I got a couple of more things I want to cover. The first one is I've always wondered. You know, I watched the news. It was a point in time when I was coming up. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, Loris, and I know you probably know a little bit about Shreveport. It's pretty rough, right? My mom would sit down and make my brother and I watch the evening news. Like literally before we go to bed, we'd have to watch the news. Why? Because she wanted us to know like it's real out there in these streets, right? It's a lot of stuff going on. So I always kind of wondered, how do you guys unplug? How do you decompress? Because you have to carry so much weight. You have to carry and you have to deliver this news to where people really truly understand the authenticity and the gravity of what's going on out in the world. And then you literally, you log off. You log off and then you become a normal civilian, just like the rest of us. So how does one manage from a psychological and a mental health perspective? How do you manage to carry that kind of weight, deliver it with so much, earnestness and authenticity, but yet not let it wear you down?
I'm still learning. I don't think you ever really get it down to a science. And then when you leave here, we still have work we have to do. We still have to do social media. We still have to post all the time. We still have to do this and do that. So, I think you just have to, there are days, sometimes it feels like weeks where I go and I just don't stop, so then that's when vacations become even more important. So when I tell people now I do this, before I didn't used to do this, but when I go on a vacation, like I cut it off. So if you see me posting anything on social media, it's just about my vacation. Like I couldn't even tell you what's going on in the world because I don't care at that moment. Like I just am trying to get away from it. So it's, some days are easier than others, but it's definitely something that you learn over time.
Well, the last thing I got, and I'm gonna give it to you, KT, is you have pulled no punches when it comes to being a role model. You talked about your journey starting at the age of 4, but you go on record multiple times expressing how much it is for boys and girls, especially POCs, to be able to see what you do and for you to give that platform, for you to use your platform as a beacon of hope, right? Where did that come from? And what does it mean for you to be able to go back to some of these schools and have your literacy program and doing the reading and all the stuff that you're doing? And also, y'all go check out at Laura Harris, NBC5. Y'all got to go check out our IG page because it's incredible. I got a couple of books on there I want you to recommend to me that I know. And like I said, I wish we had more time. We could talk about your book love and all that stuff, but we got to let you go do something important, right? But tell us a little bit about what it means to you to inspire the children of America.
Y'all, my parents did so much for us. I mean, they wouldn't mind me telling this story. They moved to Atlanta, Georgia from Akron, Ohio with a beanbag to their name. My dad used to walk/run to work every day. And he will tell you that it was uphill both ways, but you get the point.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult for me not to push as hard as I do for excellence if it weren't for them. Like, who am I to squander the opportunities that they made for us? And it wasn't like we were wealthy. You feel me? Like, it's one thing where you come from wealth and then you can help, and then you just kind of give your kids what you want them to have in this life. But for people who didn't have anything but a dream, and then they do that for their kids, and we never hurt for anything. I mean, my sister and I, they sent us off to college. It was a full circle moment for me when I was able to do the commencement speech at my university a couple years ago. And they sat in the front row. And they will never know it was very difficult for me to compose myself. Because can you imagine thinking back to the day where your parents watched you walk across the stage and you got your diploma and everything was great and you're moving on to the next stage of your life and they were so proud, to the moment where you're standing on the stage and speaking to the next generation and they're sitting in the front row? Like, y'all, for me, it is about every little kid who doesn't have the same push behind them. And people will tell you that like my boyfriend says it all the time. He's like, you're intense. Like, you get very intense when you really, and it's like, but when I tell you guys, it's more like a Michael Jordan mentality. Like, if you strive for excellence, you can only fall just a little bit. But when mediocrity becomes normal, you will never get in this life what you want, right? So I've always been the type of person that says, I'm going to get what I earn and not what I deserve, right? So like everybody deserves something nice. Everybody does. Who doesn't deserve something nice? But you will get what you earn.
Have you seen the movie Brown Sugar?
Oh, yes. I love that movie.
Okay, so this is the Sports Like Talk version of it. You mentioned your boyfriend, so you're going to be Sydney. Tell us about your Andre.
He's a good dude. Real quick story. We actually met through a realtor who knew us both, and that's how we met. The first date was terrible, y'all. We both tell the same story. It was terrible. He was tired. I was tired. Y'all should have seen how we were dressed. Like, it's no wonder we're still together because we both were looking at each other like, did you not care about this event? Like, why are you here like that? We both looked like that. But I'll tell you what's great about him. I have never been with someone who makes me better. And when I tell you it's a constant, not that it's a competition between us, but it's a constant feeling of, I know he's grinding. I got to do the same thing, and somebody just always can make you better. And he's very good at all the things that I'm really not, and vice versa. So he works in finance, really good at numbers. So when I'm sitting there trying to figure out a tip, like over in the corner, like I'm like trying to do my math on my calculator, he's like, it's $20. Are you okay? And he's funny. For me, dealing with a job and a career like this one, it's just really nice to have somebody that's just funny, and just respectful. So I think that's really, for me, he's everything that I had asked God for and more. So, let's just keep our fingers crossed that I don't mess this up.
Is he from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or where is he from?
No, he was born in the Carolinas.
Okay.
But I say he's from Jersey because he lived in Jersey for 25 years. Okay. So it's super fun because like when we go to New York, like he knows all these, hole in the wall places and the best places to get pizza and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a good dude. It's so funny now that I take him to all these places and meet all these people. Even George W. Bush, swear to y'all, true story. Bush sees him. 43 sees him at the SMU game, and 43 looked at him and started talking to him first. I was like,
I'm Laura Harris. What's going on here?
So I mean, he's just that type of dude that everybody likes, which is great. I love that.
But if he was able to get you, we already know he's dynamic. That's a lot. It speaks volumes for him. Just being coupled and in the same vicinity in the conversation with you. We already know this dude is a super dope guy. So I can't wait to meet him one day as well.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
All right, B. Jones, I think it's time.
Well, if I wasn't a fan right now, I would have been more prepared for this.
Hey, B. Jones, I've been fangirling this whole episode.
All right, Laura Harris. Welcome to the championship rounds. This is the part of the show where Kevin and I, we go against each other in a competition with you, the guest, but now you are officially calling all of the shots. Now, have you ever played a game called Would You Rather before?
Yes.
All right, so the rules are very simple. Both hosts will present to you an option. You select one of those options, and that host will gain a point. The first host to gain 2 points, or the best out of 3 will win this episode's game of championship rounds. Now, 2022 has been very interesting for me. First and foremost, y'all give your hats off to Kevin. He's the 2021 champ. Last year, for season 1 of You Got Next, he won the most games. That's inconsequential information. But this year, Kevin also has a nice little lead. Right now, the score is 19-15. So I'm 4 games behind. We got a long way to go. We just now in March, right? So we got a whole full calendar year to go. But I need your help right now, Laura. All right. I'll throw up whatever the AKA icon is right now.
No, P. Jones, I'm the one that reached out to her. So it does matter. Let's go.
All right, what's our favorite book, Kevin? See, you don't even know. All right. So look, Laura, championship rounds. Here we go. Round number 1. Would you rather hear any conversation that is about you, or
would you rather be able to take back anything you have said in the past?
Take back anything I've said in the past. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're being professional on this one, B. Jones.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit nice on this one, KT. I'm not gonna put any negative vibes out there unless I lose. All right.
So round 2. Would you rather have a shoe named after you or
have an award named after you, a prestigious award?
An award.
So you don't want those? Oh, I need to give me some of Laura Harris's. You don't want to do that?
No, I don't need no Laura Harris ones, but I would definitely think that it would, like
You said the award?
Yes, the award.
Yeah, award.
Yeah, that's on me. That's like Yellow Beezy. That's on me, baby.
Okay,
all right, here we go. Round number 3. This is a tough one. Oh my goodness. The producers got you on this one, Laura. Here we go. Would you rather have Jay-Z's business acumen or
would you rather have Beyonce's talent?
Jay-Z's, hold on. Yeah, Jay-Z's business acumen. Listen, yeah, because like Drake say, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I need to make this paper while it's possible.
Oh, I'm so excited right now, Laura. This episode meant so much to KT, and we just crushed his dreams, Laura. Oh my goodness! I'm
over here. My fangirl experience is over for the next 30 seconds and
Oh man, I'm gonna turn on NBC. So when you go back on, Laura? When you go back on?
Should be on tomorrow morning.
Yep. So tomorrow morning, I'm on weekday mornings, 4:30 to 7 a.m. So you can catch me anytime there. But like you all were saying, I'm on social media all the time: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Laura Harris, NBC5. And I would love for you guys to join in on the conversations and the fun. Like I said, it's just, we do this for our viewers. So it's not about us. So I love to hear from other people as well.
Well, the title of the show is You Got Next. So you've given us some great content, and we appreciate you so much. But we got to know, what does the future hold for you? Because for some odd reason, I got this little inkling in my heart that this ain't it for you. Like, I don't know. It's some bigger and better pastures out there that you're about to go and take over the world, right? So what's next on deck for you?
That's very kind of you. I always tell people I want whatever God wants from me. So whatever that is, we're going to find out.
All right. So you mentioned your social media handle, IG. So we're going to skip that part. Give us you have any shout outs?
Ooh. Hey, mama. Love you.
Everybody got to get that shout out to mama.
Hey, you got to say something to mom.
All right. So this is a part of the show where you get a chance to call out the next person that should have next. Tell them I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same. So, Laura, who are you passing your mic to?
Ooh. Y'all, you put me on the spot. I'm trying to think of somebody good. Newey Scruggs, our sports director.
Ooh, I like Newey.
See, Newey's a good dude because on Facebook, I follow him, he follows me. So whenever my birthday rolls around, Newey Scruggs is always saying, hey, happy birthday, Kevin. Even though he's never met me.
That's pretty dope, KT.
Because that's how cool of a dude he is. Like, Newey is more than sports. He's more than his job. He's more than his career. He's a good person. And so that's one thing that I will always say about Newey. Like, he's just a good all-around person, and he's funny. This would be a really good 30 minutes.
B. Jones, we got to go after Newey.
We got a Newey Scruggs. You are on deck. Laura Harris, you're phenomenal. You're beautiful. You're talented. You're articulate, enthusiastic, infectious. I mean, I could go on and break out all of my little vowels and, and consonants and tell you how amazing you are. But Laura Harris, you got next. Sports Life Talk. If the hairs on your arms ain't up right now, if you ain't got goosebumps, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. This young lady is super, super dope, and these stories are just crazy. And this is the time of the show we need your love, all right? We need some support. Let's grow this thing. We want to thank you once more for checking us out. Remember, Kevin and I, we do go live Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We stream on YouTube. We go live on Twitter, Facebook, so you can always find a way to get connected with us. We're big on engagement, so I promise you say something to us, we're going to say something back. And right now, go to our IG page. We're giving out free Sports Life Talk t-shirts. shirts as a way to show our appreciation in 2022. Tag 5 friends at Sports Life Talk, any post you want, but preferably this one, so we can know that you saw this episode. Slide in our DMs, let us know your size and your address, and we're gonna shoot you over some gear. So DFW, we looking for you. This is it. We here now, and you know about Sports Life Talk, and we know about you. So let's keep rocking and rolling. Kevin, man, you did it, bro. Hey, I salute you, sir. I salute to you, man. Thank you for bringing on such a phenomenal guest, man. And I'm gonna let you close this thing out, sir.
B. Jones, normally when we do this, I am not nervous. But for some reason, dude, I was over here about to pass out. So if I just
no, you ain't slept in 2 days, huh, Kevin?
Dude, I woke up at like 5. I was like, I will not miss this for anything in the world. Laura, thank you so much for rocking with us. It means a lot. And like I said, my wife totally loves you, and I do too. But don't tell your boyfriend.
Okay, I got it.
True. Yeah. He was texting me at 5 a.m. Do we have this ready? Are we good to go?
Y'all are fantastic. Thank you.
Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay blessed. Be blessed. Respect each other and love one another, because together we are better. And all my little kids out there who watching this episode, keep dreaming big, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
See, what's crazy is I knew you had next, cause you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag cause you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next, it's a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this. Yeah. Sports Life, talking this.